Hey, good morning. This is a demo video for a Warsabers Starkiller V4. This is my own saber that I did up last night on a live stream, and then I just wanted to make a separate demo on it this morning. I started off with this guy. I bought it on the secondhand market. It's the only place I would buy it. But anyway, I started off by taking it apart and just doing some light weathering. So hopefully the camera picks that up. It is a very light weathering. I took this and I totally blackened it with some aluminum black, and then I went back and knocked it all down with some 00 steel wool, and that's basically how you do that. And you know, you get it to this point on the first pass. If you wanted it a little darker, you would just do that again, and you would continue that path until you got the look that you wanted. But this was the look that I was going after. I wanted it just looking used, but not particularly beat up on this one. I did take the six button head screws, so you know, these three and these three over here, and I heat stained them with a torch. This is a steel emitter that came heat stained already, so that was really cool. I did weather the chamber and the two rods with some brass black. I left the crystal in there though that came with the saber, although it's not a real quartz crystal. I think it's super cool. So I left that in there. It's got some really nice shine through. Running a Carl Chen PCB in here. You know, speaking of Carl Chen, I'm very excited about his new PCBs that are coming out. They look super cool. But anyway, for now, those aren't available quite yet. So, you know, these are pretty much my go-to on all my builds and also my personal builds as well. Two button setup. So I got my, I think I got my power back here, auxiliary up here. This kit comes with a couple different PCB accents. So there's a 6-pixel accent behind the chamber that lights up, and then there's a 2-pixel accent right underneath the crystal, just for the crystal itself. So those are both in there. I did not use this for charging. So this is kind of like a dummy switch. I just left it in there. I like to do a removable battery. So what I did was I do leave the grub screw off of the handle. So I can just unscrew the handle like this. Take this off. This is the chassis I came up with for this saber. So of course, you know, I got my Proffie board there. All access to the board. Kill switch right here. This is running a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. It says Starkiller right here in Arabic. There's an 11-pixel accent strip under this piece of the chassis right here, and then there's a secondary strip right under this right here. So you know, we've got some shine through there. A removable battery setup, of course, and then just a little something I try to do to the chassis to make it not look so plain, right? But yeah, that's what I came up with there. Grab a battery. Throw a battery in this guy. Nothing until we flip the switch, right? Yes. These two strips will match each other. They're wired in parallel, but they are programmed separately from everything else. You get a little bit of shine through all the holes in the board I didn't use. Maybe kind of hard to tell, but I've got the actual crystal pulsing, and then I've got behind the crystal just kind of scrolling up and down, and everything is on a timer. So eventually, you know, this will time out so I don't kill my battery. Just like that, right? Everything times out around the same time. Handle slides on nice and easy, like a glove. We'll lock this down. There is a rubber O-ring that comes with the saber. I went ahead and I left that on so I didn't have to use the grub screw to clock the grips. So, you know, when I tighten this down, I just lock it in the X position and it works out perfectly, right? So we'll come over here. This only has one sound font for now. This is the K-Sith extraneous sound font. Power. So we got some nice shine through in our glass eye here. Some nice shine through here. I got some twist off action. Now for blade retention, I have a couple different choices, right? I could use this grub screw right here, which is something I won't do because I like to use this guy right here. This goes into the blade socket just enough to where it can be used for blade retention. So we'll back that out, put a blade in, lock it down with this guy. So soundtrack with it, right? That's not the soundtrack that comes with the actual sound font. I just grabbed one of the many that I have on file and I threw it on here so I could play something. I don't believe that this one comes with a soundtrack, but it's still an awesome font. So a little close up of the crystal chamber. Just like that. So we'll go ahead and back this out, take our blade out, and then just take our handle off to turn it off. Kill switch just like that, right? And then the battery pops right out. So yeah, that's basically my Warsaber Starkiller. I've been kind of on a Starkiller collection bit for a minute. I've got an SKIG coming. I've done lots of SKIGs, but this one I'm going to keep. I don't know that I'm going to install it though. I might someday. I don't really have an itching to install that one because I have installed so many. So that one might just get assembled and weathered and put on my shelf for display. But this one I wanted to install. I think it's a really cool saber. It was very welly. It was very well done. Very welly. It was very well done. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thanks for checking it out. And everybody who watched me install this on my live, thanks for tuning in for that too.